Hey beautiful people, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are going to do a very simple bridal hairstyle. You could decide to wear it as a bridal hairstyle or just a casual hairstyle, and I'm going to show you how. So of course, as usual, I'm having my wide tooth comb, my parting comb, and I'm going to be using some bobby pins. So the very first thing I'm going to do is to hold down my hair into a lower bun. Okay, it's not going to be all the way down, but just to hold it a little bit at the back. So just as I'm doing, you can use whatever you use. I use yarn for this. It works perfectly well. So as you can see, I'm not going all the way down because I need that back section as big as possible. And at the very bottom, I'm not lifting it up even an inch. It's just staying all the way down so that I get that volume, the space to work my magic. So yeah, and then that will be basically it. So I'm holding it just halfway down, not all the way down, halfway down. So yeah, make sure it's halfway down. You have enough hair left, just loose. Then once I have that and happy with that, I'll start now working on the loose hair at the back. And for this bit, I'm just going to be sectioning my hair into a bit of like rows. I'll be doing rows of considerably small chunks of hair. And then in these rows, I'm going to be partitioning it into a little bit more sections. And then for each section, I'm going to be bobby pinning it down to the roots of my hair, as you can see. So I'm just taking a chunk of hair, twirling it a little bit, and then I'm bobby pinning it down. And then when I'm bobby pinning, um, it's sort of like they're alternating. So I'm bobby pinning it like on top of the other, on top of the other, because every time I'm bobby pinning, I'm not bobby pinning it from the tip, I'm bobby pinning it from the middle section. And so it's leaving a little bit of loose hair. And this loose hair is going to be covered by the hair that is coming next. So let's look at this second row. So again, I'm just partitioning randomly. Of course, I'm looking at the mirror, but I can only tell the chunk that I'm partitioning through the feel of my hands. So I'm going to take a section of that, and that section I'm tailing it a little bit, and then I'm going to bobby pin it down. But as I'm bobby pinning it, you see I'm not bobby pinning it at the tip, so it's almost like 3/4 ish, and then I'm leaving some loose hair. And as you can see, that loose hair needs to be covered. So for the next section, I'm going to ensure that it's coming on top of that loose hair that remained hanging, so that it covers it, but also it's creating some sort of you know twist twist kind of look, the chunky twist. So yeah, actually, initially my idea was to just do some chunky twists on these cornrows. By the way, I'll try that. I'll try that because all these things, they just come into my head, and I'm like, I can easily do this way and this way, but you have to try. And by the way, I forgot to tell you guys, this hairstyle I did it on my second try, because the very first try I did something very terrible. This is because I got this inspiration sometimes back when I was just going through my Pinterest, and then I saw some very nice bridal hairstyle, but they're using extensions. And then I told myself, I can try this. I mean, I'm always over ambitious with my hair. So I told myself, I can do this with my hair. And then I lost that video completely. I've never come across it ever again. So I don't even know how it was not a video, it was a photo. So in my head, I just knew how the photo was looking like, but I didn't know how they were doing it. So in my head, I came up with all these creative ways I can do it. And so when I actually sat down to do it the very first time, it was really terrible, really terrible. I'll share with you. I'll put the results of the first try at the end of this video as bloopers, but yeah, it was really terrible. So that's how I decided, you know what, let me do it this way. And it turned out really great. Yeah. So anyway, back to the tutorial. So here, just as you can see, I'm just still doing the same thing, just bobby pinning on top of each other, making those very cute bubbles or chunky twists, whichever you prefer. At this point, I really don't know where my head was at. I just know I was feeling a little bit down, but I don't know why I decided to now bobby pin these ones in the opposite direction. I was just doing so well. But then for this row, I ended up bobby pinning in a different direction because I was bobby pinning to the right and now I'm bobby pinning to the left. But anyway, it was no issue. It turned out still great. But yeah, just to note that, keep the consistency, turn to the one direction, like that. So yeah. And also another thing I wanted to mention, and I apologize for this. I do my recordings myself. And so when I was setting up my camera for this, I didn't realize I zoomed um, in way too much that I think the focus was kind of blurred because the zoom was way too in. And so this video might not come out as clear as it should. But forgive me. I think ideally you can just see the concept because that was what I was trying to achieve, to just show you the concept. But yeah, the quality of the video might not be as great as the others. Anyway, to the last section. So yeah, for this section, I decided to go back by pinning it to my right. So I'm just taking sections and then you know, twirling it a little bit and then bob pinning it. And that's basically it. And once I'm done with this part, actually you can decide to leave it here because I mean, this hairstyle can be worn anyway. You can decide either to make it bridal or you can decide, to just wear it going somewhere, I don't know where, but yeah. But once you're done with this bit, you can be very comfortable to go. You can leave the house with just this, and I'll show you how it looks once I'm done with this final chunk of hair. But to make it bridal, of course, it's always the accessories. So after that, we'll go to the accessories. So this final bit, you can see the disparity between the direction where I was going and when I changed the direction, showing a little bit of, shadow. But it doesn't matter. So I'm done. And this is how it looks. It looks really good. You see, so yeah, you see, this is how it looks, and you don't have a lot of commitments in terms of, showing this is bridal or whatever, whatever. So you can go anywhere with it. Maybe to church, I don't know. But yeah, so now let's make it bridal. I'll start with my favorite bridal accessory, this tiara. I think it's a tiara. Yeah. I'll start with this tiara. And this tiara, if you've never used a tiara, just so you know, you have to use bobby pins at the end of each end. So just going to use my bobby pin and then I'm going to secure it on this first end and then I'll do the same to the other side. You want to be very careful because doing it yourself, you don't have like, all the support to hold and all that. So yeah, and yes, so we've started transforming this. Now it looks bridal. You couldn't tell it's bridal at the beginning, but yeah, now it's looking a little bit bridal. So let's make it a little bit more bridal. And here, I'm just going to add my very tiny accessories. I only have 6 of these. So I'm using my fingers to strategically position them at the right place. At first, I thought 6 was, less, but as I always say, less is more when it comes to accessories. You don't want to over accessorize. So this 6 worked magic. I'm using my fingers to just, and then there's a mirror, as you can see. I'm also using a mirror to just direct me where I want to put. But this is very strategic. I would use the mirror to place my fingers, and then I would use the other hand to, get my accessories in the right place. So yeah, um, well, that was a little bit slow, but I just started to make sure that I get it perfectly. But yeah, this will be basically it. Once I'm done with this, I'll just yeah, I of course I didn't show when I went outside with this, but yeah, I just showed the process and all that. But yeah, it looked really nice for me. It was perfect. I think I'm trying to practice for my wedding. Yeah, but that's just jokes. But yeah, so just doing a little bit of earrings. I love silver. Silver complements my skin, so I'm doing lots of silver for me. And so with that comes the end of our tutorial, and this is how we look. So let me know what you think. How do you feel about this? Is it something you could try maybe for a bridal event, if you're a bride, or is it a hairstyle that you can wear, just stepping out, going for an event or something like that? Of course, if you're going for an event, don't do a tiara. You might confuse people thinking that you're the bride. But anyway, yeah. So this is how it looks. This is the end results. Let me know what you think in the comment sections. And of course, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I really, really appreciate you. Please make sure you like this video and, share with your friends. So this is what I had initially. It's a total disaster, but yeah, I promise I'll show you and I'll shine you.